Hello folks, you're on the Desert Adventures YouTube channel, sponsored by Apogee Performance Racing. Spend less time adjusting and replacing chain and sprockets and more time riding with Apogee Performance Chain Lube. In previous videos I've shown how the stock carbs choke is actually a piece of junk, and not only is that the only issue with it, even if you replace this crappy choke, it's also just hard to tune to get it running properly. It also just bad throttle response and bogs over hard whoop. So to solve those issues, I installed an FCR carb off of the YFZ 450. Thank you to my cousin for the carburetor. He actually has a YouTube channel here. If you're into air-cooled two-stroke content and vintage dirt bikes, go check out his stuff. Dirt Fox 2 is his YouTube channel. And there's a piece of 2-inch radiator hoses and adapter to the airbox, and the FCR carb mounted up. You will want to use a YZF or a WR twist throttle with just the pull cable to work with the single cable carb, but here she is. A little cold still, but great throttle response and running great. And the throttle response is the first thing I noticed once I ended up getting it jetted and tuned correctly. And the throttle response is literally just a night and day difference compared to the stock carb. The stock carb, you were not able to just punch it. You could literally bog it from low RPM and just punch the throttle. With this FCR carb, there's zero hesitation and it just pulls hard from low RPM all the way up to the top. It's quite amazing. And this also being a carburetor that was designed for motocross tracks and to be going over whoops hard and stuff, it never bogs or stumbles or does anything over the whoops like the stock carb did. The stock carb seemed like every time the floats bounced that it would stumble. This thing just doesn't care what throttle position you're in or how hard you're hitting whoops or landings. It just keeps doing exactly what you told it to do at that throttle position. And as far as jetting specs go, I ended up running a 160 main, a 45 pilot, a 58 leak jet, an OB DVT needle on the third groove, in the middle groove. That needle is actually the needle that comes out of the early KTM EXCs, like the early 2000s 525 and 505 EXCs. And my bike, as far as mods goes, fairly stock, but it's got a slip-on FMF exhaust, and snorkel removed out of the airbox, and a foam air filter. I'm at 3,000 feet elevation, and these specs should get you fairly close. Jetting should get you fairly close if you're, 0 to 6,000 feet and have fairly similar mods done. It should get you fairly close to jetting if you want to swap this carb over yourself and you're tired of battling with the stock carburetor. Really due to the horrible choke design and due to just that carb being such a dog, there's really no reason to even run a stock carb when this is available. There's also electron carbs, those are available, those are amazing, what people have told me. But yeah, the FCR carb is a much better step up than the stocker. And when I was first reading about doing this carb swap online, I was reading that you're supposed to gain 4 horsepower and 3 foot-pounds of torque or so, which is a big gain. That's like a 10% gain on this bike. That's huge. And to be honest, I was a bit skeptical of it being that huge, but I completely believe it now. It's a very noticeable difference in power and throttle response. I greatly appreciate you watching my video today. As Bubba from Forrest Gump would say, that's all I got to say about that. Make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and go check out Apogee Performance Racing, and go check out my cousin's YouTube, Dirt Fox 2. See you next time on Desert Adventures YouTube channel. Enjoy the rest of the video.